So welcome to session 3 of SLS Together We Can hotspot topic vaping/marijuana. And so today we're here to talk about how to communicate our message. So during workshop session 1 and 2, you learned things from Isabel on the health consequences of vaping and marijuana, what it does to your health, but also what it does to your brain. So we're going to take what we learned and figure out how we're going to communicate that message. But before we do that, part of communicating your message is you have to have fun while you're doing it, all right? That way your peers will want to listen to you and want to follow you. So to kick you off, to have a little fun this afternoon, I'm going to turn you over to Isabel that's going to introduce our guest.
Okay, so today we have a special guest. He is going to show us some magic tricks, and his name is Joel. So take it away, Joel.
Great, thank you, Isabel, and your co-host, Saint Nick. I appreciate it. Hello, Dawn and everybody. I am Joel, here to kickstart your mind with magic. Thank you so much for having me. All this week, you guys have seen some amazing magic from me. Have you guys enjoyed everything so far?
Yeah.
Love to hear it. Well, today's the big finale, so I wanted to do something extra amazing. So I wanted to share with you a Las Vegas style illusion, miniaturized to fit in your screens. Take a look here. So let's have some fun with my little Las Vegas style illusion. First things first, we have a balloon here. It's got a hole in the middle. Maybe you've never seen anything like that before, but that's not our Las Vegas mini illusion. I've got a cage right here. We're gonna put the balloon inside, and now we can have some fun. Check this out. I've got our needle and the balloon. Let's make some magic. In 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah, everybody take a look. It's Nathan the guinea pig. I appreciate it. This has been a fantastic week. I want to encourage you guys to have a wonderful today. Enjoy your meeting. Have an excellent weekend. Everybody say bye, Nathan.
Bye, Nathan.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye, everybody. Have an awesome weekend. See you later.
Later. All right. So we got a little friend out of the balloon. That was cool. All right. A little fun on this Saturday. Awesome. Did we lose a couple people? Looks like my screen got a little shorter here. Maybe not. It's okay. All right. So having a little fun, right? So before we jump into samples and different ways that we can communicate our message when it comes to vaping and marijuana, who remembers what were some key things that we learned during workshop sessions 1 and 2 that Isabel had talked to us about? So go ahead, you can get out your notes if you need to kind of jog our memories. What were some key things that you remember? Molly.
That 1 in 4 high schoolers vape.
Okay, yeah, 1 out of 4 high schoolers vape. Yeah, that's pretty high, right? Absolutely. What else do you remember?
All the different types of the vaping pens.
Okay, can you name one of them, Ashlyn?
Yeah, there's the Cigalike and then the Pod Mod.
Okay, Cigalite, the Pods Mod, yep. Which one was the big one?
The Pod Mod.
The Pod Mod, yep. All right, anybody else? What's something that you remember? Erica, Delaney, Jocelyn, something you remember?
The targets for e-cigarettes are specifically targeting teens.
Do they specifically target teens? Is that what you said, Erica?
Yeah.
Yep. The ads specifically target teens. Yep. That's the audience they're looking to get. What else?
The main thing in marijuana is THC.
Yes. All right. And THC is the chemical that makes you high. That's the thing that alters your mind. How many days does THC stay in your urine? We talked about that. Delaney?
Wasn't it like a month? Like 30 days?
Okay, that's your hair, okay?
Oh,
you're
yeah,
not wrong, okay? The THC stays in your hair for 30 days and stays in your urine for how long? Anybody remember for the urine? Like if somebody sends you for a drug test?
Was it 14?
14, yep. Stays in your urine 14 days, stays in your hair 30. All right, let's see. What else do you remember? Oh, a Juul pod contains nicotine of how many cigarettes? Who remembers that one? Delaney?
Oh, like a whole pack?
Yep.
Would that be like 20?
20.
No, 20, yeah, okay.
Yep. Contains as much nicotine as a whole pack or 20 cigarettes. Yep. Anybody else? Something you remember? Let's see. Besides vaping damaging your health, like your lungs and your mouth and stuff like that, what else can it be dangerous for? Isabel showed you some pictures on this one. What else can vapes do that people don't realize? Ashlyn?
I don't know if this is what you were going for, but like they could explode.
Yes. Okay. Yep. It can explode. All right. Okay. All right. Good. Good. Good review. Awesome. All right. So today we're going to dive into different ways that you might be able to communicate your message to your peers about the topic of vaping and marijuana. So to kind of kick us off, we're going to have your student presenter, Isabel, who's going to deliver a speech that she wrote when it comes to vaping. So Isabel, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Dawn. So when it comes to drugs, people don't always know what to say, especially when they're with their friends and they want to look cool and don't want them to think bad of them, just because they won't give in to peer pressure. There are some people who think that drugs are okay because they don't know the effects it has on their body. Other people think that they are okay because they have seen other people use them and nothing has happened to them. What they don't realize is that all it has to take is one time for something to happen to themselves or someone else. Drugs can have long-term effects and short-term effects on your body that aren't good. When you're with your friends, you could tell them about the harmful effects of using drugs. You could help them understand that what they are doing is bad for them. And you could also help them if they want to stop, because once you start using drugs, it is very hard to stop. Take smoking, for example. When someone starts smoking, they have a very hard time stopping. They just keep wanting more and more. And when people want to help them stop, sometimes they can get really offended or upset because they feel judged and not realizing that they're actually trying to help them. Also, if you aren't careful, you could also get addicted to something without even realizing it, like smoking or vaping. The nicotine in it is addictive. If I had to tell someone about the bad effects of smoking or being around smoking, the one thing I would say is just stay away from it. Don't get involved with people who do drugs. If you know that your friends are doing drugs, then they probably shouldn't be your friends. But sometimes that is hard because you want to be friends with them and you don't want to fall into that peer pressure. So what do you do when you have a close friend and you don't want to stop being friends with them, but they're using drugs? Tell an adult that you trust and try to get them some help, even if they say they don't want it, because friends look out for friends.
Excellent. Round of applause to Isabel. Awesome. All right. So let's see if you were paying attention to her. Okay. What were some key things that you took away from her message? What were some key things? Delaney.
That it's important for us to tell our friends how, like, educate them on how bad smoking and taking drugs are for your body.
Okay, all right, excellent. Anybody else? What'd you take away from Isabel's message?
She also told you like what you could do if one of your friends were like doing that, like you help.
Okay, yep, so she gave you some suggestions of what you could do if one of your friends is participating in that behavior. All right, Molly, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say that drugs are super addictive, just like cigarettes and drinking.
Okay, super addictive. Yep. Jocelyn, you had your hand up. Were you gonna say something?
I was gonna say that we should tell somebody about it. We shouldn't just keep it quiet and just not be friends with them.
Yep. Okay, so make sure you tell somebody about it. All right, excellent. Anybody else? Something that stuck out that Isabel had said in her speech. No? Okay. All right. Okay.
Hello.
So, oh, hi, Hannah. How you doing?
Hi, I'm so sorry I'm late. I don't know what happened. I used another device today, and for some reason it wasn't launching Zoom. So I
Oh,
can't use. This is my phone. So
okay. All right. No worries. We're just glad to have you. We're sorry you did miss the magician though. You missed the magic trick. So I'm sorry about that. Maybe one of the girls can fill you in on what his magic trick was. So, but we're glad to have you.
thank you.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so so one way to share or communicate your message is to write and give a speech, like Isabel did. Okay. All right. Some other things that you can do is you can create photos or graphics or videos. Okay. So I'm going to share with you some student created stuff that went along with the message of vaping or marijuana. And again, this came from high school students just like you. And it was a way that they chose to communicate their message. So we just want to be able to see some ideas here. So we'll start with the photos. All right, so let's do, not that one. These are from the other day. Bear with me here. All right, here we go. All right, so tell me about this one. What's the message in this one? Yeah, Molly?
Not to do drugs, I'm guessing like cigarettes and vaping mostly.
Yeah, okay. All right, so kind of a simple photo. Miriam, is your hand up, honey?
It's basically saying to stay away from all that stuff and not to do it. Also, my mom said, "Can you let her in the meet?" She just texted me.
I can, yes. I am sorry. I don't see her though. She doesn't show up.
I'll tell her to log back in.
Yeah, try to come back in. Okay. All right. What about this one? Miriam?
Nowadays, kids like to vape and like do like Juul and stuff, and people think it's cool and it's a trend, but it's not. So that's basically what this message is saying.
Okay. Yep. And very simple. You know, it's hand drawn. All right. What about this one? Delaney.
It's basically saying like that we need to stop kids like us, like who are underage, to stop using tobacco.
Okay. Yep. All right. So this right here could be a billboard that you see because it sends a good message on that. All right, so those are some samples of like posters or graphics. All right, so now what I'm going to share with you is some student created videos. right, share my screen here. And here we go.
Designing is my anti-drug.
Art is my anti-drug.
Color guard is my anti-drug.
Reading is my anti-drug.
Acting is my anti-drug.
What's your anti-drug? Stay above the influence.
All right. So tell me about that message. Miriam?
It's basically giving a message that drugs is not cool and you can have other things to do. And my anti-drug for me is playing sports and eating chicken nuggets.
Okay, chicken nuggets. There it is, right? Okay. All right, good. All right, here's another one that was created by students. This was Manchester. It's a little different than the first one.
This is the Most Teens Don't Use campaign. Together, SLS and Seriously are working to eliminate misconceptions surrounding the percentage of teens who use alcohol, tobacco, marijuana, and prescription drugs.
We are carrying out this campaign to fight the peer pressure that students face. When students believe that most of their peers are using drugs and alcohol, they may tend to use the substances themselves. Through this campaign, we hope to inform students that most of their peers do not use drugs or alcohol.
By combating the isolation many students feel when being pressured by friends to use illicit substances, we create an atmosphere where positive social norms make students feel more comfortable with making the right choices. And the results speak for themselves. Our statistics have shown that approximately 45% of students felt less pressure to use alcohol or drugs as a result of seeing this campaign. 59% of MHS students overestimate how many of the classmates in their grade have drank alcohol in the past month, and 45% of MHS students overestimate how many of their peers have used marijuana in the past month.
Our information comes straight from the source, the students of Manchester. Every 2 years, a survey from the Michigan Department of Education called Michigan Profiles for Healthy Use is taken by the high school and middle school students.
Most teens don't use.
All right, so tell me about that one. What was the message you took away from that one? Molly?
I really liked that video, actually, but it's a way to include students that, you know, feel like a lot of students are doing these drugs, drinking alcohol and stuff like that, when really there are a lot of kids that don't. So it's just a way to feel more included, more safe.
Okay. All right, good. Glad you liked that. Anybody else? What'd you take away from that one? Or something you liked about it? Yeah, Delaney?
They use like true facts and statistics so that it would seem more reliable to the students.
Okay, yep, true facts, statistics, more reliable. All right, Jocelyn?
They tried to make it sound like it was cooler not to do it versus to do it.
Yeah, right, so their message was different. Yep, okay, awesome, very good. All right, so now what we're gonna show you is Isabel found some videos that were professionally made. So these aren't student created SLS ones like we showed you, but they're good videos, they're quick, they're 30 seconds or less that give education behind vaping. And so we just wanted to kind of show you a couple so you can see what's out there on the internet in case you wanted to incorporate it into your project or use something from their message. So there's a few of them that we're going to show you here. That, if anything, might just give you some more education behind it. All right, so here's the first one.
I, Amanda Green, at the point in my life when I'm not a kid anymore. Now that I finally have freedom to define who I am, I hereby agree to be bound to you, to let you decide how I spend my money, to let you set my boundaries, and to come running the instant you snap your fingers. With this contract, I relinquish part of my freedom to you.
There's a contract in every cigarette. When you light up, you sign up. Don't let tobacco control you.
All right, so let's talk about that one. So obviously it was professionally made from the FDA. All right, so a lot behind it, but what was your takeaway, Jocelyn?
I've seen that on commercials all the time.
Yep. But was there something particular you liked, Hannah?
I liked it that it was in the format of a contract, so it'll be easy to see visually. And I also liked the fact that it just sent the message. It was very easy for us the viewers, to receive the message that cigarettes can control someone's life instead of vice versa.
Yep, absolutely. Anybody else? All right, now I know that was like professionally made, but that's something that you students could also make. All right, and so here's another one. You might have seen this one on TV too.
There's an epidemic spreading. It can expose your lungs to acrolein, which can cause irreversible damage. It's not a parasite, not a virus. It's vaping.
So again, that one was pretty like right to the point, right? Has anybody seen that one before on TV? Yeah, Miriam, you have? Okay. All right. All right. Let's see, what about this one? This one's kind of a little creepy. Isabel and I kind of decided. This one is a little creepy, but I like the message in it.
If you vape, you could be inhaling toxic metals into your lungs. To show how scary that is, we made metal monsters. With special effects that show metal particles being inhaled. And music that would have made your heart race. But nothing is as scary as the facts. Vaping can deliver toxic metals like nickel and lead into your lungs. That's metal in your lungs.
Tail sleep.
All right, so what did you like best about that one? Ashlyn?
I like how it kind of gave a visual representation.
Yeah, give you a visual representation. Yep. Anybody else?
Yeah, I also like how they gave a visual representation and how he just got right to the point and said it's bad and you could inhale toxins into your body.
Yeah. Yep. I liked how you pointed out about the metals, right? That you're actually inhaling metals into your lungs and then gave you the visual. I think that right there is a good way to get across to students. All right, and then here's some, here's a couple funny ones, all right, that we're gonna share. Just because you wanna have a little fun, but still get your message across. So these are a couple that Isabel found too, by the same type, real cost. So you might have seen these. I'm not sure, I haven't, but here's a couple of them.
Oh, that is awful. Oh, no way. That is not happening.
I wrote you every day for a year.
You wrote me?
Yeah, it wasn't over. It still isn't over.
Ugh, your mouth smells like an ashtray. It was over and it still is.
My what?
I am your.
I can't understand you. Hold on, let me help you. Hold on. Let's just get this one off. You okay? All right, this next category is 90s hip hop.
Poor Benjamin Button. It's just so sad he has a debilitating condition. No, that's just a guy who smokes. That's Benjamin Button. Oh.
All right. So just a little bit of funny, okay? But what were the key messages behind those, even though it was meant to be humorous? But what was the message that viewers take away from that? Ashland.
That like vaping and smoking have negative effects on you.
Okay, vaping and smoking have negative effects. What else? Jocelyn?
It's showing how, like, if you smoke or vape, how it can ruin important things in your life, such as the movies. It was good parts of the movies that were essential to it, and then it never happened because somebody was doing something bad.
Right, yeah. All right, excellent. Ashley?
You can actually see it on your body.
Okay. Yep. Miriam?
It's basically all the videos are basically saying that vaping and smoking is not cool nor cute, so you shouldn't do it.
Yep, gotcha. Okay. All right, good. All right, so what we just saw was we saw different samples of ways to communicate a message. We saw some student-created stuff with the photos and the pictures. We saw some student-created videos, and then we saw some professional videos that are out there that are PSAs to help get the awareness out about the health consequences and the dangers of vaping, all right? So now what we want to think about is how are we going to communicate our message to our target audience when it comes to vaping/marijuana. All right, so the first thing that you have to figure out when you go to communicate a message is who your target audience is going to be, okay? So if the project that you're going to develop is targeted towards your peers, okay, that would be your audience. If the project that you're going to develop is targeted towards community or parents, that would be your target. If your audience is the administration, because at some point, if you're going to make this a school project, you're going to have a target of audience to your administration to get permission, okay? So we're going to focus on those three target audiences today. Because your different target audience will change a little bit how you deliver your message. All right, so when it comes to communicating your message, there's two things that have to take place. All right, so the first thing is the what do you say? All right, and so that's the key concepts of the message you want to make sure you get across regarding vaping and marijuana. So what are the key things that you want to make sure you get across in your message? Is it the health consequences? Is it that you can say no? Is it that the misconceptions or the myths around it? Okay, so what are the key messages you want to make sure you get across in terms of your topic? So once you think of that, the what do I say, you also have to look at how do I say it, okay? Because when it comes to communication, if you've taken any communication class, you know when you communicate, you have the verbal aspect, which is the words you say, but you also have the nonverbal aspect, which is how you present it. So your body language, your facial expressions, your gestures. But that also can include with the how do you say it, could be your visuals. What kind of visuals do you want to have to get your point across, okay? Because a strong message will include verbal and nonverbal stuff, all right? So this is what we're going to do. I am going to break you up into 3 groups, and each group is going to get a target audience. So your group's either going to get the target audience of your peers, your community, which could include parents, and administration, okay? And so once you get into your groups and you have your target, your group is simply going to, and you can make a chart just like this, okay? What are the key things that you're going to make sure you say that you want to be in your message, and then how are you going to say it, all right? So kind of decide who's going to be the writer and who's going to be your spokesperson for your group when we report out. But I would suggest that everybody takes notes in your group, because you're going to want to, you might use this stuff when you start developing your project, okay? Thumbs up if you understand my directions. Awesome, all right. So let's start with the peer group first. So the target audience is the peers. All right, so which group is that? All right, so Delaney's group, all right? So Delaney, what are the key things you wanna make sure you get across to your peers?
Okay, so we wanted to make sure that we got facts that people don't know are true, that yeah, just a lot of people don't know, and that kind of relate it to current events like with COVID, that vaping lowers your immunity to diseases, so that might, you know, inform people on how bad it is for you and kind of maybe scare them into stopping.
Okay, all right. All right, good, excellent. All right, next group, which was community. Who's that? Who's talking?
Me, I'm talking, sorry. Took
All
me a
right,
minute.
Miriam. Okay, that's all right. Go ahead, Miriam.
Okay, so we came up with really good ideas. So let's start with the what would we say to the community? We would talk about the dangers and how it could affect all ages, but mostly teens. We'll talk about the peer pressure, how to say no. We're going to talk about and give statistics, give out facts. We're going to talk about the effects it can have on your life and mental health. And we're also going to point out the myths. So, and how do we say it? We're going to create a workshop just like this to present to the community, make posters, put out a billboard, make bumper stickers, which was Erica's idea, a very good idea.
I like that.
Create a slogan and have merchandise for it, which was Jocelyn's idea. Very good idea. Have a video and create a social media page. So that's all that we had.
Okay, and so your slogan would be on the merchandise and the bumper sticker, right?
Yes, we could do that. We could have like little wristbands, shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Okay. So when you say you want to do a workshop for the community, like, do you have somebody in mind in the community? Like, is there, or no? We're not that far yet. It's okay.
We're not that far yet.
Okay. I was just wondering if you had something in mind, or a business or organization. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. Awesome, great ideas. All right, so administration, all right? And so these people, if we're doing it in our school, have to approve it, right? So we gotta make sure we appeal to them. So who had the administration group? All right, Hannah's group. All right, so who's talking?
Oh, I can talk.
I can if you want.
Oh. Doesn't matter.
Go ahead, Hannah. You can talk.
Okay. So basically, what do I say? So since this is the administration consists of adults, we were hoping for us to talk more about the reason why kids vape, and also we want to discuss about more like the negative consequences and how to approach children that do vape, and just tell the warning signs and just notice how they recognize who vapes and who does not vape. And we're also hoping to include statistics, like to show how big of a problem this is. And as for how do I say it, we were thinking of making a video that basically says that we're actually going to have two parts. And the first part is we're going to stick in statistics about how big of a problem vaping is. So basically say how common it is. And we're hoping to show how teachers can be able to tell which students do vape. And as for the second part, we're hoping to instruct teachers on how to approach children that do vape, and we're hoping to make a list of what teachers should do and what they should not do. That's about it.
Okay, excellent. All right, excellent. All right, so you have some great ideas, okay? Great ideas. All right, so 4:59, all right, our timing's good today. All right, so someone tell me, what was the most helpful thing today as you kind of move forward and think about the project you want to do on vaping? What was the most helpful thing today? Ashlyn.
I think like the examples of the high school and like the professionals were helpful.
Okay. All right. Delaney?
I feel like I've said this before in the other ones that I was in, but knowing who your audience is before
Yeah.
you start creating your presentation.
Yeah, and that's like key, right? If you don't know who you're talking to or presenting to, yeah, you have to start there. Good. Anybody else? Hannah?
I think the fact that just trying to find a way that the audience will be able to receive the message of the video or whatever you're trying to present is a good idea. So,
Okay, awesome. Anybody else? It's okay if not. All right, okay, excellent, very good. So that kind of concludes session 3 of the Vaping Marijuana, of how to communicate your message. So our next session will be session 4, and that will be January 16th. So that'll be in the new year, 2021. And so at that session, we're then gonna jump into how to plan a project, okay? So I ask you, as you kind of gather your thoughts from today and all the information that you learned during the first 2 workshops, try to start thinking about what is the project you actually want to do, okay? And it could be a mix of things. It could be posters with videos, with slogans. It's really, really open of what you can do, all right? And so kind of come with an idea to the January 16th workshop, and then we'll kind of jump into how you're going to plan and organize it, all right? So that you actually can execute it and deliver it, all right? Now, keep in mind, you can do your project individually, or you can do your project as a group, okay? So we have multiple students from Freeland. So let's say Freeland decides, you know what, we're gonna do one project and we're gonna do it as a group. All right, but you also have an opportunity to do it individually. So maybe Freeland wants to do a project as a group, but then Erica says, you know what, I'm gonna do a different project as well, but I'm gonna do it on my own, okay? Because again, remember, the kind of the prize at the end is if your project is picked as the model project, you get a $500 scholarship. So you're welcome to create more than one project for your topic. So kind of exciting, totally up to you. Neither way is right, neither way is wrong, okay? So following today's workshop, you kind of know the drill. I'll send you an email with the evaluation, fill it out, tell me your thoughts, and then you'll be entered in a drawing to win $10 Amazon. It's kind of good timing with Christmas around the corner. You might use an extra 10 bucks to buy yourself a gift or a gift for somebody that you need a gift for. So go ahead and do that. Oh, good news. Next Friday, you probably got an email from me. Next Friday, December 18th at 4 o'clock, log on to Instagram or Facebook, either one, wherever you're on, SLS Today, because I will be making the announcement of who received the SLS Advisor of the Year and SLS Student of the Year, okay, for 2020. You probably received several emails from me asking you to submit your advisor for a nomination. And I do the same thing with advisors. Submit a student for a nomination for the Student of the Year. So I got overwhelming nominations. So that was cool, but also a hard decision that has to be made over the next couple days, because you know me, I want everybody. I want to give it to everybody, right? Okay. So luckily, I'm not the one that has to be the judge. I pass that off to the board of directors and they decide, because yeah, I'd be like, well, I can't choose. So anyway, so December 18th, 4 o'clock, tune in and find out. It might be you as the Student of the Year, it might be your advisor. So stay tuned and we'll find that out.